Hello. Big news this week in the Portland startup community, of course, was Prophetic landing a major customer. But before we get to that, just some quick items I wanted to touch on. On November 20th, I will be hosting an Ask Me Anything about startups. So I'm happy to talk about the Portland startup community or startups in general or VC. Whatever questions you have for me that you think I might be able to answer, it's an Ask Me Anything. Bring them November 20th and let's get them answered. And even if you don't have any questions, please show up because someone may ask a question that you can help answer. So this is just a community thing. It's going to be live streamed, all virtual. It'll be available on both LinkedIn and YouTube. So I hope you can join us, maybe answer a question, maybe ask a question, but be part of the community during that AMA. And then the next thing I wanted to touch on real quickly is I've launched the Startup Stories project. So I talked about this in secrets. The secrets come at the end of the show, but I talked about this in secrets for a few weeks about starting to interview other founders in the community, talk to them about the startups they're building and what inspired those startups. I have a bunch of those in the can. I got the chance to release a couple of them this week with Lauren Teague from FanWagon and Corey Scholabo from Deo. So I will link those up if you're interested in seeing those. And those are also produced as a separate podcast. So if you would just like to listen to those stories, they're a separate playlist and a separate podcast. So you can do that as well. All right, on to the big news. Portland startup Prophetic landed a huge customer this week, the largest home builder in the US, D.R. Horton. Now, what does Prophetic do that's so intriguing to D.R. Horton? Well, they're using AI and multiple data sources, kind of using AI to munge those data sources in a way that they really help real estate developers. In fact, let me read specifically what Prophetic says they do so that I don't scramble any of the words. Prophetic is transforming real estate development through AI native intelligence by building a single source of truth for real estate development. Our AI-powered platform helps land acquisition teams discover opportunities at scale, analyze properties instantly, and build intelligence that drives growth. They're an alum of Upstart Collective. They started working out of there. They recently took out their own office space and are growing quickly. And this D.R. Horton deal is probably going to accelerate that growth even further. I know they've raised a little capital, but it's always nice to see when Portland startups land major customers that will drive revenue that will help finance that growth. And so they don't have to give away more equity to finance that growth. So I'm really excited to see where it goes from here. Obviously, if they've landed a fish this big, there will be other large customers to come. And I'm excited to see what Prophetic does in the real estate development world. Speaking of Upstart Collective, did you know they run a monthly pitch competition called Demolicious? It's true, they do. Founders get up on stage, they quickly pitch what they're building, the crowd votes, and somebody walks away the winner. Then the twist is that winner comes back the following month and pitches against a whole new group of people who are hoping to take that title away. Well, there's yet another wrinkle to Demolicious, which is the December event, which is the Champion of Champions event. That means everybody who has won at Demolicious throughout the year, month to month, all come back to take the stage in December to compete against one another, to get the crowd to vote, to see who everybody's favorite startup is for the whole year in the Portland startup community. So that's coming up in early December. I think tickets are still available. It's held at the Mission, at the McMenamins Mission. Great venue, always a lot of great energy there, bringing all these founders who've worked so hard throughout the year to build their thing and tell their story, and then getting them all together and bringing the community together to celebrate them. I always plan to attend Champion of Champions. I hope you will as well. Of course, I'll link it up. And if you'd like to know who's going to be on stage to maybe kind of sweeten the deal, let me read off who will be competing in Champion of Champions. Base Jump AI, Carbon Negative Solutions, Dappled Tonic, Graze, Human.Global, Lack to Love, Sound Checked, Transcribit, VidiScribe, Votonic, Zing Drone Solutions, and Zilch are all the ones who will be taking the stage at the Mission Theater in December. Hope to see you there. God, my segues are so awful today. Speaking of champions, you know who else named some champions last night? OEN held their annual entrepreneurship awards last night. It was a choose your own adventure theme. There were a variety of folks who walked away with prizes, a variety of folks who were also recognized. Congratulations to everyone who was named as part of that event. It's always nice to see folks getting recognized for their work that they're doing in the community and the companies they're building, even if they don't get the actual award. But I do have the list of the people who actually won awards last night, so let me read them off to you. Ahead Computing landed the Early Stage Award. Nurasom was named the Development Stage Company. Hemix Health won the Growth Stage Award. One App won the Trailblazer Award. Jenny Huynh of the Sports Bra won the Entrepreneurial Achievement Award. And community catalysts that were recognized included Dave Barkos out of Vancouver, John Maroney, formerly of Oregon Venture Fund, and the High Desert Partnership. Congratulations to everyone who won, but of course, congratulations to everyone who was recognized. It's great to see the community gathering to celebrate these founders. Are you paying attention to the politics? It's kind of hard not to. Like, the political news cycle is crazy. And for years, I've relied on Sylvia Salazar of Tono Latino to give me the insights about what's going on and explain it to me in ways that I can understand. No matter how complex the political issue or how divisive the political issue, she's always done a really great job of bringing stuff to a level where it's just easily approachable and understandable. And I'm not just saying that because she's a Pi alum. I was really happy to get the chance to work with her at Pi, but she's gone on to do much bigger and better things. She's back east at Washington, D.C. all the time. She has more than 100,000 followers on Blue Sky and 80,000 some odd followers on Instagram. She's really become one of those internet famous personas, and she's right here in our midst. You know who else is in our midst is The Dangerous Ones, which is a podcast about politics and a growing podcast network now because they've included Sylvia as part of their team, and they're launching a new podcast that Sylvia is going to host week to week. I'm not only excited to see Sylvia getting recognized for all her excellent work over the years, but I'm also eager to see her continue to grow on the Dangerous Ones platform as they raise the visibility of this amazing political analyst in our community. I cannot wait to see where she goes from here. And congratulations to the Dangerous Ones on making a really, really solid decision. And then the final one, this could have been almost a quick news bit at the beginning, but I wanted to spend a little more time on it. Alex Pettit, who used to be the CIO of Oregon and was most recently serving as Colorado's CTO. So he used to be our chief information officer. He'd been in Colorado being their chief technology officer. He is coming back to Oregon to work as the director, I believe, of digital transformation projects for the state of Oregon. So why is that important? Well, I think if you've dealt with things at the state level, you do realize there's a great deal of potential for digital transformation there and improvements and innovation and incorporating more modern day technologies to make the government work better, to make things easier for you as a citizen. And I'm really excited that Alex is bringing back all of the knowledge she's gained over the years to Oregon to help with this digital transformation. I know he's still in transition, but I'm excited to see what he has to say. I'm excited to see what strategies he puts forth and what projects he puts near the top of his list to complete. So I'm going to keep track of Alex's transition and keep you apprised of the projects that are drawing his attention in Oregon for digital transformation. I really not doing well this evening. Okay, that was a rough. You know, the shortest episodes are often the roughest ones, and I don't know why. Maybe I just had a week. It just was not a good. I hope you had a better week. I sincerely hope you had a better week. This is part of, we're through with the show. Everybody else left. It's just you and me. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for staying. I appreciate it. And when you stay, I like to reward you with a few secrets, some insights into what's been going on throughout the week, and just kind of keep you abreast of what I've been working on and that kind of thing. I had the opportunity, thanks to Stephen Green and Sierra Pressler, to be on a panel with both of them and Mel Strong from Next Ventures, talking about scaling companies in Oregon. It was hosted by Better Portland. And, I didn't really plan to be, but I kind of wound up being the cranky old man, shouts at cloud kind of guy. And or yells at cloud, whatever it is. But really good conversation, just discussing the challenges of trying to scale any business in Oregon and the sport infrastructure and what's needed and like those kind of things. And I felt like it was a very forthright conversation. I felt like we were trying to be as direct as possible. And as I shared with the participants, like it's a rarity to have critical, forthright, honest conversations like that. So I was really honored to be part of it, and I hope I provided some feedback that was valuable. As always, I try and catch up with folks throughout the week. Had the opportunity to catch up with Yosef, who organizes the Silicon Forest Tech Summit. And I'm excited to share that they've secured a venue and they have a date and they're working on programming and stuff. Yosef and his team just do such an amazing job with that event. I mean, there were like 1,000 people there last year in the basement of the Memorial Coliseum in the Rose Quarter, and a really solid event. And I shared this with him, so I will share it with you as well. But he, in his programming, in his thinking about the program and the event, he does such an amazing job of crossing over industries and remaining focused on innovation and its impact in those industries and the creativity and those kind of things. I'm just super impressed with everything he does, and I'm always quite humbled that I get the chance to chat with him about his ideas and what he's thinking and provide feedback and those kind of things. So I don't think he's revealed the date or the location, but so I don't want to steal his thunder on that. But I did want to let you know that the Silicon Forest Tech Summit will be happening for the third year in a row. And if there were 1,000 people there last year, I don't know. What are we talking, like 2,500 people this time around? Could be bigger, but I definitely wouldn't put it past him. Such a great event, the Silicon Forest Tech event, and just trying to figure out how I can be part of it. Yet again, even if it's just behind the scenes. Caught up with Matt Dittrich from the TIE Oregon. He's the president of TIE Oregon, as well as a, man about town in the startup community. Like he's one of those people, like he seems to make it to every single event. I'm always impressed with his ability to do that. And it's always good to catch up with him and see what's going on in the startup community from his perspective. Things he's seeing from a TIE perspective or TIE Oregon perspective or otherwise are always insightful. And, I think he's always a good sounding board for my ideas. I feel lucky to have him as kind of a thought partner in many of those things. So it's always good to catch up with him and kind of spitball and brainstorm and come up with ideas. We're all thinking about 2026 already. That's why I'm doing the Ask Me Anything, because I want to know where your questions are. I want to know where you're having issues. I want to know where things are confusing. So that's partly selfish why I'm having the AMA on November 20th. Please show up. It might just be you and me. We might just be sitting there chatting it up, but it would be good to have you there. I hope you can make it. As always, I had the opportunity to catch up with a few founders and community members, and both in terms of recording startup stories, but just in terms of catching up with them, providing mentorship and advice, and got a few more startup stories in the can. So I'm not sure how many folks have submitted but it's in the 40s now. So I've only released 2. So I've got quite the backlog to deal with, but in a good way, in a really good way. And I probably have 10 or 12 recorded already that I need to edit and start dropping. I'm going to drop 2 a week. We'll see how that goes. And if need be, I might have to drop more than 2 of them a week, but you consume them at your pace. Please don't feel forced to listen to every single one every time I drop it. Okay, cool. I don't want to make you feel bad. I want you to watch the show or listen to the show. It's a podcast too. And, you're kind enough to listen to this one. Those people are far more interesting than me and have way more interesting things to talk about. So Startup Stories is a playlist here on the YouTube and a podcast on your favorite podcasting platforms. Cool. All right, I'm really cranky. I don't want that crankiness to wear off on you, especially as we're moving into the holiday season. We all need to be chipper and bright and holiday-ish and those kind of things. So why don't you go skedaddle, get out of here, take care of yourself, have a good weekend. I hope you're hanging in there. And until we get the chance to chat again, please keep up the good work.